for some of you who don't know who he is, Dr. Nelson, he's a father. He's a great son to his mother. He's a health guru, a Yoda. That's right. He's a Yoda. He's a business professional. He's a senior vice president in our business, AC, and he's a community leader. And I added this to the title, a major investors in other people's future and success. Last week on Friday, he brought us down. He talked about human equity. He talked about relationship and currency. And June 2nd was one of my favorites. He talked about the gumbo for success. I'm filling up that gumbo, young lady. I'm telling you what. And then last week, he also talked about, does anybody remember? Vibes. And he ended the call with what? He said, live on what? What was it he said? Live what? On what? And stop playing it small. What did he say? I live in what? Unapologetic. Live unapologetic and stop playing small. Without further ado, my dear friend, Senior Vice President, Superstar Yoda, the one and only Dr. Nelson.
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? I'm telling you. Well, I cannot be more excited about being on this call. For those of you who do not know who Mr. Al Thomas is, I call him Dr. Al Thomas. He's got more doctorates than anybody on the planet, just in the mastery of life. And that's one of the things I want you guys to tap into. It's just really, if you can see and if you can feel and if you can truly just taste his energy, that's not sometimey. That's not inconsistent. That's all the time. So I want you to write down all the time. You have to be whoever you are. Now, you don't have to be myself or you don't have to be Miss Al Thomas, bouncing off the walls the way we do. We are just filled with life. So I promise you, if you fill yourself with as much fuel, if you go to the same gas station as the two of us do, you'll be bouncing off the freaking wall too. You will be on a frequency. You can turn up the switch. You can turn up the energy. You can bring it down here. You can be totally intellectual. You can go into an intensive conversation and be passionate about it, but you don't have to be melodramatic. Hi, are you open to my opportunity? Would you like to know who I am? I'm totally interesting. Oh, you just don't know how deep I am. And don't want to. You're walking deadbeat. You got to fill yourself with a specific energy. Let me put it like this. Make yourself attractive. No, ladies, I'm not talking about your hair. I'm not talking about a boob job. Guys, I'm not talking about going to the gym. I'm not talking about putting on some fake. I'm talking about make yourself internally attractive. Make people want to come to you. Stop repelling people. Have so much attraction that you're batting people off. Have so much attraction that you're like, God, I wish my phone would just stop blowing up. Some people are like, you know what? I just don't answer my phone. That's because you only got 3 people calling you. You don't have to. Crackhead. So we're going to stay here. So we're going to stay here. We're going to stay here. We're going to stay here. We're going to stay in vibes. I actually am going to move into vibes part 2. I love when Bree puts my stuff together. We're going to move into vibes part 2. But I'm going to read from my book. For many of you, you know that I'm writing my book, Finish What You Start. And literally, you know, it's just amazing. My co-conspirator in writing is actually changing the title. I can't even, it's just a contract with God. But my favorite piece in it, I'm going to put on my spectacles. I'm going to go off the grid so you guys don't see me looking to the left. But I want you to listen and take really good notes. And then I'm going to get into the garden. And then I'm going to pose you guys. I would love to have 7 people like to be able to walk away with 6 figures today. So those 7, just think about who you are. When I finish this, I'm going to close this out in like less than 20 minutes. I'm going to leave myself 15 minutes in the hour for the people that would like to walk away before this year is out with 6 figures. And then you don't have to put your hand up. And I'm praying it's not going to be everybody, but I'm hoping it's at least 7. And I'm good with 3, 7, 12, even 44. I'm good. Okay. I'm good with a certain number, but we're going to do that at the end. So I'm just going to take this off right now, Jim. I see at the end, follow instructions, guys. Not yet, not yet, not yet. When I finish this piece, because I'm going to go from a piece in my book, I call them my scribes, And I need to put the disclaimer out because I have so many different types of people that follow me. I have everything from Muslim to Hasidic Jewish to Christian to Presbyterian to Lutheran. And so when I speak from God's space, I ask you, if you are not of the spiritual realm in which I'm speaking, then please take it as academic. I don't have time to figure out, oh, you're gone religious. No, you can learn from anything. Ants are one of the best things you can learn from. Snails, I can teach you about a snail going north up a tree. I can give you that. Are you guys with me? So, I mean, just, I need you to not go left into the fact that it's like, well, he's gone there, especially if you're new, because you'll get it twisted and you can miss so many amazing gifts by immediately looking through the wrong lens. Please write that down. You can miss some of your greatest opportunities in life by looking through the wrong lens that somebody else poured into you or put into your head, or some experience you had, or let me tell you about Black people. Well, let me tell you about Mexican people. Well, let me tell you about Asian people. How about I tell you that you're going to bleed the same way everybody does? So I just want to get that out of the way, get the disclaimer out of the way as I go into this real quick. So the topic here, as I go off grid, I want to make sure you nod your head if you can still hear me as I have my picture up. Can you hear me? Outstanding. Thank you, Jackie. You're beautiful today, by the way, Jackie. Thank you. Jackie Black. Girl, can't have a better name than that. I'm telling you right now. All right, let's jump right into this. So I want you guys to have the word for today called faith. That's my word for today. Faith. Now I know you guys have heard a lot of things about the word faith, and this is my take on it, what I want people to have when they get to my book. So you guys are actually getting a preview of pieces that are already in my book. See, I actually am speaking from Hebrews 11:1. There's a reason why I picked 1:1:1, by the way. Hebrews 11:1. Now, faith is the substance of things hoped for. Notice two important things about faith. Number one, faith is a substance. Number one, faith is a substance. Number one, faith is a substance. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. See, in the north and western hemisphere, or the western north hemisphere, however you want to look at it, people trade in dollars. In Europe, they trade in euros. Y'all really need to know about money. But in God's kingdom, faith is the coin of the realm. It's what's required to do business with God. I need you to understand, by the way, that's in Hebrew 11:6. You got to know the coin that is required to do business with God. And that it grows only by feeding on his word. I do have reference points for you if you want them. They're Romans 10:17. Faith, number two. So you got number one, right? You got number one. Good. Faith is a substance. Number two, faith must be connected to hope. Faith must be connected to hope. If you're not hoping for anything, you don't need faith. But your hope must be based on what God's word says. Whoever your God is, I know who mine is. See, when God promised to make Abraham the father of many nations, Abraham spent the next 20 years looking for a son. Even though the situation seemed impossible, you got to figure out, how did he go and do it? Well, A, which is going to get back into the vibes, and the B, because I'm going to the alphabet. The B, by the way, today is belief. So A, he believed. How much do you really believe in what you're doing, who you are, where you're going, how you're doing it? See, God, who calls those things which do not exist as though they did. God sees it, then he reveals it to you. And his willingness to bless you with it rests on your willingness to believe him for it. Oh, I got reference points for you, but that would be A, just so you got that. You're going to have to go back and rewind this and play it 5 times. I'm telling you right now, I'm just getting started. B, who contrary to hope, believed according to what was spoken. What has God said to you? What has your spirit said to you? What has the Holy Ghost said to you? What has your sixth sense said to you? What has your pineal said to you? What has your third eye said to you? That's what your hope should be built on. That's what your hope should be built on. C, he did not consider his own body already dead. since he was about 100 years old. You say, but considering the circumstances, everybody want to tell me about their circumstances. No, believe God. He's bigger than circumstances. See, he's bigger than circumstances. I don't want to hear how broke you are, how you don't have the money to go to the, to the convention, how you don't have enough people to talk to. I don't want to hear about your scarcity thinking. I want to hear what's been programmed into you. See, he's bigger than your circumstances. You're living small. You need to stop playing small. D, he did not waver. It's amazing how many people want to waver. Should I? Shouldn't I? Am I in my head? Am I not in my head? Okay, we'll play here. Where's the playground? Okay, well, I think I'm going to do this. Okay, I got a plan. Okay, I need to talk it out with all the 8 people inside of my head. Okay, maybe I need to go back to God and tell him what I'm not sure about. Okay, I changed my mind. Okay, I want to do this. Okay, I'm all in. Okay, life just got in the way. Okay, I'm ready to go. No, you aren't. No wavering. No wavering. C, he did not consider his own body already dead. No belief, he's bigger than circumstances. D, he did not waver through unbelief, but was strengthened in faith. Through unbelief, but was strengthened in faith, giving glory to God and being fully convinced that what he had promised, he was also going to perform. All this is in Romans, by the way. So strengthen your faith through the scriptures. Through scripture, you must find something to believe in. 2 + 2 is always going to be 4. You don't have to tell me who wrote the King James Version or who wrote the Compton version. Trust me, there's a lot of versions out there. But there's truth if you look for the facts and you use this one word that I want you guys to really develop during the month of August. Write it down, called discernment. Strengthen your faith through the scriptures, keeping and giving glory to God for what he has already promised you. Everything that you have, everything that you want, be resolute, be unwavering. Says faith honors. It's so honorable to be in this space. I want you guys to understand the power of not wavering. I need you to understand the power of believing. I need you to understand the power of making a destination, setting a goal. See, before Israel went into battle, prophets would ask God if he had given them the city. That's because God honors faith when it's connected to what he's promised. What you should fight for is what God has already promised you. See, I want you guys to get this, how it's applicable to our business. I really need you to get that, because for those that are seeking a specific financial amount, those that are seeking a specific title, position, confluence, influence, presidents, amount of money, new lifestyle, new village, all these things come down to your faith and how steadfast you are, your belief system. And here's what I need you to get out of this. You wouldn't be if you wouldn't be able to think it if it wasn't already done. Think about how much money you want to make this year. Think about the position you want to attain this year. Think about exactly what you want to do for your family this year. Think about how deep your why is as to why you're on this call and what you're doing in regards to this business. Now, in that, you got to ask yourself, do you believe that you can look at something, see something, or something can appear in your life that has already been acquired by someone and be inspired by it? It could be a lifestyle. It could be giving back. It could be blessing people. It could be feeding the homeless. It could be saving your own life from help. Do you believe that you can see things that have already been done? Miracles, reversing a degenerative disease. Do you believe that you can see something and it not be possible for you? For if it's not possible for you, you would not be able to see it within your own eye. It could not be a dream. It cannot be a vision. And you can't get thirsty. Your mouth can't salivate for something that wasn't already yours. I need you to really get this conversation. The distance between you and having what you want is the work that you put in to get it. I see a house that I want, a home. I don't even call it. There's a distinction between a house and a home. A home. 3 stories, cylinder fireplace, go straight up in glass, all the way up to the 3rd floor. Indoor jacuzzi, view of the city and the ocean with an organic farm in my backyard, separated from my jacuzzi and my infinity pool that flows into the ocean. Do you believe I can have an imagination to see that and it's not already built for me? The challenge is most people don't take time to imagine long enough to go and work for something that was already theirs. They buy into somebody else's vision and somebody else's dream and get caught up as an enslaved, indentured person to somebody else's vision. The only reason you follow somebody with a vision is to be inspired to build your own and know what's possible for you. To collectively build a city and a village to expand as a contribution, making that city much more valuable than it was before you moved in. I don't know if anybody getting this morning. I'm on one. You are an asset or a liability by choice. You are an asset or liability by choice. Choose powerfully. In every conversation, in every person, life that you insert yourself, every person that you come across. Am I a liability? You don't need to ask them, am I a liability? If you even have to ask the question that you're a liability, you probably are. But it's not that you're a liability to somebody else, you're a liability to yourself. This is going to be some bad truth medicine for somebody. They're going to be coughing after this call. I'm just sharing with you that as you feed yourself and you really get to a point of really knowing how to renew your mind and you're starting over, faith comes into play. I'm going to leave the rest of faith for next Friday, but I'm going to jump right into the vibe so you understand. You got what vibe was about last week. Let's talk about a vibe. Let's talk about vibes, frequency, higher, escalating to a plateau that I can't see down anymore. I only look up. I don't look behind because behind can't help me with where I'm going in my future. I don't live in my past because my past can't create my present for my future. I can only be present so that I can build for my future and use my past as experience. If we look at that and we're talking about vibe, the E in vibe, experience, I use my experience for wisdom, not for residence. I'm not moving into the resident of my past. I'm not going to keep bringing up my past. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm not going to use that as a reason. I'm not going to use that as anything other than wood as fuel for me to propel myself to the next level of my life. Well, you don't know what I've been through and don't care. Everybody got a story. Everybody got an excuse. Everybody's been through pain. Everybody's been through loss. Well, you're supposed to be empathetic. To what? Identify yourself as a contributor to other people's lives, and you will become a law of attraction of attracting people that will be a contributor to your own. Identify yourself as a leader, but identify the leaders that you're following. Are the people taking me where I want to go? Are the people taking me where I want to go? Am I taking people where they want to go? Or listen, Linda. You get on a train. Your job is to be an asset because when you first get on a train, all you got is a hobo pack. You got a stick and a bag. You ain't got jack. You get on the train and you ask the conductor, you want to make sure you get on the right train that's taking you where you want to go. But you get on that train and you don't attempt to change the direction of the train. Now, it may not be going 100% right to the destination by the crosses of what's in the compass to where you want to go, but it's going to get you closer to where you want to be. And until you learn how to run your own train, get your own posse, get the people going to put the coal in, don't try and derail somebody else's train and think, oh, I got on the train, now I need you to understand where I'm going. Nobody gives a freak about where you're going. If you're going somewhere and it's not going in the same direction the train you jumped on, you should get off the train. This train has a destination. Al Thomas got a destination. Byron Nelson damn sure got a destination. Where I'm going, don't come in and I got to look to the left to figure out if I just ran somebody over. You want to stop and talk about where we're going, what we're doing. I have a destination. It's a God appointment. And a lot of people are relying on me. So I don't have time to worry about one person's issues. There's a lot of trains. You can choose any one that you want. There's a lot of conductors. Some go slow. Some people need to go slow. Get on the slow train. Some got a lot of stops. You need to get off and use the bathroom a lot. Get on that train. Just know before you get on an Al Thomas or Byron Nelson train, you're probably getting on a bullet train. Ain't a whole lot of stops. Ain't going slow nowhere. See, as we get into vibe, I want you guys to understand the beginning of vibe, the V in the beginning, and the back of it. See, when I first went, and I mean, we have a beautiful person on here. I know that Dr. Al Thomas might have missed my queen on here, but I have Renata Krumer on here. When I first went and saw Renata Krumer, that was 11 years ago. I went there on the she knew where the train was going. Platinum Region Vice President, she knew where the train was going. She knew where she wanted to go. Now, her husband didn't know where the train was going, and damn sure didn't know who the conductor was. That's a story for another day. But her being the woman, her being the rib that protects the heart, we'll take you there on another day. She actually went in and talked to the man and said, look, this is where the rib needs to be. This is where the heart needs to be. We're going to do this as a collective. Let's get on this train. And took off. She sat there and sucked that train of all its resources until she figured out how to build her own train. Now her train is amazing. It goes at the pace she wants. It's filled with love. You walk onto any one of the carts, it's a flower child. In fact, you're infected with love. You can't even get on there without almost being infected. You can be the most evil person. When you get on that train, all of a sudden, it's almost like you got turned out in the streets. You went from being home. Anyway, you understand what I'm saying. God just turns you out on that train. But I say that because I need you to understand the word V. The word V is value. A lot of times we get caught up in our own head of how much value we actually offer and want to make the world understand how much we offer, understanding the moment that you're waiting for someone to see your value, you stop putting value in yourself. Not yet, if that makes sense. You guys follow me on that so far? If you're putting value in yourself, I say this with the ultimate amount of love. When you're putting value in yourself, the right people will stand in line and wait for you. Or they'll wait till you get to your destination, or they'll join you in the journey. There should be no conflict on the onset of the journey outside of the adversity, challenges, and the obstacles that already exist that you had when you came into the journey by yourself. We have to stand in reverence and in respect of each person's journey. Find the people that are colliding in your world that want to see you get where you want to go, not where they want you to be. Please write that down again. Find people that want to see you get where you want to go, not where they need to be. Always ask yourself, how much value am I bringing to the table? How much am I working on myself? What are my goals for this month? I heard one of the most beautiful life conversations this week. The person was asked, if you could do anything, if you had one wish to do anything on this planet before you left, what would it be? The answer, speak every language and every tongue to relate and touch every soul on this planet. What? That was amazing. But if you don't have the space and time, have not created that to figure out how I can be of greater service, starting with the mask over myself to other people and bless, you will get stuck. That's why the V in vibe is value. It's the most important thing. You start with, when you're looking at that V and you get to the B, I'm not getting into the I and the E so much or the S, but the B is a belief system, which I started with in understanding faith. What is your belief system? See, when your belief system is aligned and the moral fiber is in place, you don't have space for judgment. Please write that down. You can't have space for judgment of someone else if you're aligned with the universe. If you're truly pure to love, if you're truly pure to contributing, if you are truly a servant that wants to bring maximum potential, maximum surplus to you, maximum abundance to you, maximum wealth, there is no space for judgment calls. You don't have not that you can't, everybody has an opinion, but the ones that have an opinion are the brokest people on the planet. You don't have time for opinions. You only have, please write this down, put it in bold print. Today, I only have time for execution and results. Today, I only have time for execution and results. Today, I only have time for execution and results. Today, I only have time for execution and results. What am I executing? What am I executing? Where is this conversation going? What are we doing? What are we talking about? What is this, a feel-good session? Because, those hours are after 7 o'clock. My feel-good hours are after a specific time or before. We don't have feel-good conversations during the middle of the day, because during the day, if you don't work a job, you should employ yourself and work a job. Let me say that again. If you don't work a job, then you should employ yourself and work a job. And you should have store hours of a minimum of 8 hours. When you work a job, the boss is not coming to ask you, so how do you feel today? If he does, he's just playing the game of a corporate manager to make sure you feel good to get your ass back to work. He don't give a damn about how you feel. He needs results. He's like, what are the numbers today? How many did you bring in? How much did you close? Do you know this? You are only as good as your last month. Until you employ yourself as a boss and you got store hours, a minimum of 8 hours of hiring yourself, going to freaking work, no emotions, no contact, no, you can be a cheerful worker because you're doing what you love to do. You can have the right attitude. See, emotions have nothing. Listen. Attitude and emotions are two totally different things. Attitude and emotions are two totally different things. My attitude stays at a frequency. I stay in a PMA. I stay whatever I gotta do. If I drop off like a fever, I'm telling you, I'm gonna bounce right back like you've never seen before. It doesn't stay there. I can't afford it. The people that love and trust me can't afford me to stay there. Your attitude. Now, you want to have emotional hours? Do that when you go home and have dinner. Do that when you're having a glass of wine. Wait till the weekend. Wait till your vacation. Get up in the morning. Right now is employment time. Hire yourself. Hire yourself. And be the biggest, baddest boss on the planet with the greatest attitude, filled with love, making sure that you care about the people that you employ, making sure that you're serving them at the highest frequency, giving them the greatest ecosystem to be able to work, giving them the greatest environment, making sure that they are there to win. You are there to inspire, not be down, not dead trodden, not beat yourself up, not, oh my God, this is so hard. You shouldn't hire yourself then. If you ain't up for the job of becoming wealthy, you shouldn't hire yourself if you don't want to change your family tree. You shouldn't hire yourself if you don't believe in something higher than yourself and call him God or Christ. You shouldn't hire yourself if you don't have faith. You shouldn't hire yourself if you just want to have a mediocre paycheck and you want to get benefits from somebody else who's going to pay for you to be able to go to the dentist. You shouldn't hire yourself. Fire yourself. Church in session. Value, belief. We said vibes. The S on vibes, which we'll talk about closer to next week, stands for system. You're going to need a system. System stands for save yourself time, energy, and money, but you're going to need a provocative system. You're going to need a system that has leverage. You're going to have a system that compounds. Here's my favorite system. Write this down. 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of my own. 1% of 100 people's efforts as opposed to 100% of my own. 1%. I like 1% milk. Kind of works for me. Keep the fat off of you. Keep the lazy ones away from you. You ain't got to worry about just one person. See, if you only count on 2 or 3 people, you haven't learned the system. The system is find 1, 2, or 3 extraordinary people by going through 100, 200, 300, 4 people. And how do I know if I have the right person? People ask me all the time, how do I know if I have the right person? You don't have to ask that if you have the right person. The right person is letting you know I'm the right person. And if you have to ask yourself, what am I looking for and do I have the right person? What that tells you, God, I'm giving class today. What it tells you is you are not the right person. You have not invested in yourself enough. You have not built yourself enough. Because when you have the right person, they will let you know I'm the right person with their actions. You don't have to ask them. That's in any type of relationship, by the way. You don't have to ask, where are we? Shit, where are you? I know where the hell I am. See, the right people, they're already taking action. What did I say what was today's mantra? Execute results. The right person is already executing a result. They're saying, look, you know what? When a person gets in a relationship, you know what they ask them. Let me just be clear. When a person goes in a relationship, like, so, where are we? How are we doing? Do you love me? Do you care about me as much as I care about you? You know what you should be asking a person? Where the hell are you going? The man should ask the woman that, the woman damn sure should ask the man that, where the hell are we going? Because if you don't know where we're going, I got somewhere else to be. I tell you, I always know where I'm going. You may not like where I'm going, then you shouldn't get on my train. It's a simple thing when it comes down to a belief system. You want to be the person that they believe in. I got 4 minutes to wrap this part up before I get my $600,000 game plan. You want to be able to truly know that you are the person a person can believe in and that they can follow because they don't have to ask, because of the way that you execute and the results that you show up with. You should have a sheet. I call it a cheat sheet. You know what Dr. Al Thomas has? He has a cheat sheet. You know what Renata has? A cheat sheet. You know what I have? I got a cheat sheet. You know what a cheat sheet is? It's a documentation. It's a cheat sheet. When I show up, I don't have to say anything. Oh, I got about 100,000 people you could go talk to. I don't have time to be sitting and explaining you what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I've saved too many lives. This is what I do. If you have an urgency to change your life and your bank account and your lifestyle and your family tree, I'm that man. Yes, I am that Negro. If not, by all means, move on. Well, I'm not looking for, write this down. I am not looking for scientists. I am looking for surgeons. I am not looking for scientists. I am looking for surgeons. Surgeons, they get things done. They execute. They're in the room with the scalpel, ready to do whatever is necessary to save a life. System, solar system, school system, financial system, tax system. You got to master the art of system. I'm going to go into that deeply next week. In the garden, and for those who have been around for a while, you know I have a garden, my garden of alphabets. I love my garden of C's. I love my garden of P's. But in vibes specifically, I want you to have, for today, you already have the value at the front and you have the experience at the back. But when you say vibes, VIBES, the S, we said we will tap in the system because I didn't give you the S last week. So we're going to talk about system next Friday. In this conversation, when you look at I want you to understand the I today, I want you to put down, it's another vegetable you haven't had down. It's called intellectual property. Protect your intellectual property. Use your imagination. Come up with new ideas. Stop looking for, master the basics and then use your third eye. Master the basics and come up with creative ways of being able to reach more people. I want you to say, if you take nothing else, put a circle around this piece right here. Reach more people. How do I reach? Stop asking, how do I invite? What do I say? Who do I do? Reach more people. I want your creative ideas for everything, every one of you that hears my voice today. That is your mantra for the next 7 days. And I want to hear testimonials on how you reach more people exponentially. It's a muscle. How do I reach more people in less time? More people in less time. Intellectual property. And then also in the eye garden, even though there's only one eye involved, invites, I want you to write down involved versus committed. Involved versus committed. Are you involved or are you committed to what you say you're in, what you're doing right here? Why you're here, why you're on the call, what you commit. All right, I'm committed. I'm sold the freak out. When I'm in something, I'm in it. I don't waver. I'm gonna tell you, the map may make me take a left or a right, but the destination, I never miss my freaking destination. Like never. I'm just too pissed off, too angry, too filled with piss and vinegar, too much venom. Yes, and when somebody derails that, I'm more mad at them. They're easy to let go than my desk. I'm not letting that go. That means somebody is not helping me get where I need to be. Hire yourself. Employ yourself. Or fire yourself. All right, here's the 600,000. That's vibes for today. I want you to put your hand up if you want to play the 2-minute game. I got 10 minutes to play this to wrap this up. No, you got there's a emoji card. Just put it up. Let's see how many people I can get to do this in my less than 10-minute, 12-minute game to wrap this up. Okay. Seven, stop right there. I'm gonna just use the 7 right there. All right, 9's a good number. Okay, let's go. Okay, so Marbetta, let's go. You ready, Marbetta, for the $600,000 in 5 months?
Yes.
Actually, you got 2 minutes to tell me who you are. And impress everybody on this phone.
You want me to tell you who I am?
The clock is ticking.
Whose points have not yet caught up with my reality, but I am firmly in agreement with you about the fact that now is the time that I can use vibes and frequencies to change what is actually going on in my life. And I thank you for it today.
You are so welcome, love. Excellent. I'm going somewhere with this. Thank you, Marbetta. Mute yourself out as you go. We're going to go real fast here. Victor, you figure it out yet?
Yes, hello.
Yep. You got 2 minutes. Tell me who you are, sir.
My name is Victor McCoy from Minnesota. My mother told me, how big could you dream if you knew you couldn't fail, right? I have a list of goals I have to achieve. My goal, like I think it was you who put the goal for me or someone on a Zoom call, to hit RDRC. I have goals I want to achieve. I'm no way I'm going to fail. I have plans I have to achieve before October Orlando, and I will achieve those no matter what. I mean, it's only up from here. Yeah. I thank you guys for the opportunity and the guidance as well.
Beautiful. You guys are making it short. You guys are only using about 30 seconds. I want you to imagine, let me paint the picture, and I love it, and I appreciate it. And first of all, it takes a lot of courage just to get on here and play this game with me. But what I want you to understand is you have, from an investment perspective, you have somebody who's willing to give you $1 million. From a business perspective, you have somebody who has access to 100,000 people. They already have a network in play, and you have 2 minutes to tell them who you are, to create enough value for them to say, whoever the hell you are, I'm rolling with you. That's what this game is playing. That's what this is right here. Are you guys understanding the game? Nod your head if you understand what I'm saying here, okay? And so as you're thinking it out, put it in through your head. This is the game. T, you're up to bat. Go ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. My name is Taylor Duhays, and I am a life designer, and I am looking for people who want to run with me. I want to be able to help you to design your life any way you want to. And the reason why you should come with me is because I have a phenomenal tribe of people that excel in bringing your life, your dream to life. That's why you should be with me.
That was short and brief. I'm gonna do a little coaching in between this right there, T. Specifically, you don't write this down. Never say people. Less is more is less. When I'm looking for a brain surgeon, when I'm looking for somebody to save my mother's life because of a pulmonary attack, when I'm looking for somebody to write my book, when I'm looking for somebody to design my house, I'm not looking for people. I'm looking for a specific person. I said I only wanted 7. Hands just less is going to attract more for you. Stop looking for the more. Sensational, go. You got less than 2 minutes. Talk to us.
Hi, my name is Sherry Ann Afwape. I'm a dreamer. I like to associate with people who dream as well. There are things in this world that need adjustments, and I believe that working together with those that believe in what I believe, we can get it done. There are opportunities available to enhance the lives of others around the world, and we can do it together. Just looking for those who are looking for me. Thank you.
That leads into, thank you, those 30 seconds. What this tells me is you guys have not practiced your 2-minute conversation, and that's okay, because I want everybody else to wake up, because we're gonna do this again before my 4 weeks is up. That was a kumbaya conversation lacking the energy because you were thinking it out in your head, and people can actually see when you're talking that you're thinking. And when you're thinking too much, then in turn it shows uncertainty and it shows lack of destination. It shows a roundabout way and the neighborhood that I want to move into, but it doesn't give me confidence as to why I should follow you as a leader. That's the coaching. Again, kudos to everybody stepping up to the plate in this conversation. Go right ahead. Joshua, you're up, then Roxanne.
Hey, what's going on, Mr. Nelson? So first and foremost, I'm a child of God. I'm an only son. I'm a Navy chief in the military for almost 20 years. I'm a father. I'm a Freemason, and I'm a visionary. I know where I'm going and I know what I want. And I just want everyone around me to win.
Beautiful. So I want you to develop that conversation and expand upon that so that it becomes attractive. What it screams is who you are, the strength of who you are, the love of who you are as a father, as a man, as a visionary, truly as being appointed to, a sacred space, which I'm very familiar with in the Masons. All of that screams, but all it screams is all about I. You didn't entice anybody else to be a part of what you are, nor inspire anybody to want to be around you in that capacity that you would lift them up. Did that make sense? You follow me on that?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Excellent. Roxanne, you're up to bat.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. My name is Roxanne Corralejo. I am a positive entrepreneur. I focus on trying to empower and celebrate other individuals. I'm looking for 3 individuals that are like-minded, like myself, that are go-getters, they're self-starters. They want to advance their not only careers, but their lifestyles for their family and help others do the same, not only on a local scale, but on a global scale, and impact those not only locally in our community, but throughout the world and other countries.
So pause on that again. I'm going to show you exactly how this is parallel. We're going to go to Jasmine, Bob, and then David, and we're complete. So go right ahead, Jasmine, go ahead. I'm going to show you a likeness in the conversation. Go ahead, Jasmine.
My name is Jasmine Carey, and I am a writer and a teacher. And I am here. My biggest passion right now is neuroscience and teaching neuroscience to the mass as young as 3 years old and as old as it goes. I believe that neuroscience is a way that we can shift our minds, change our destinies, change our fate, all the things that you talk about. And, you know, I'm listening to everything you say, hanging on every word. And I believe that so many people just don't understand how you can literally scientifically reprogram your brain. Very often people tap into the human sides of it and the things that we want and the desires that we have instead of approaching it from a scientific method that literally works. And you can teach it, and you can teach people how to take neural pathways. And so I'm here to write about it, to teach about it, and to create other teachers who can then spread the message too, because I believe that this is one of the things that could create a tremendous tipping point in the world that we see today.
Now, in the conversation, what you're looking at is not the content yet. We'll get to the content. This is specifically to the women. This is when we get into coaching. Number one, you'll hear in both of those conversations, they spoke too fast. Number two, you'll hear the fact that they're actually talking with a swoosh. Women, you will listen and hear that you will start here and go, and because it's a daddy conversation. Daddy, daddy, mommy. The women have a natural higher tone that goes up, almost like a Nike. If you guys see me, are you guys following me on that so far? It's a Nike, it's a swoosh, because it's appealing. When you're talking, hey baby, when you're talking to your man. But if you listen to a power alpha female, you can use Martha Stewart, you can use Oprah, you can use any woman that you want. They talk here and bring it down. This is what it's almost as if you're talking to your child, or you're getting your point across, or somebody cheated on you. You don't talk with that swoosh when somebody cheated on you. Look, this is where I'm going with this relationship. That, and now you don't say it with the anger, but it has to have that potency. See, in a 2-minute conversation, you only have a few seconds to get somebody's full attention for them to engage and want to know more. First, we have to work on the tonation. Second, we're going to have to learn on the content. Third, we're going to have to understand the flow of how it's done. Masters of this game of understanding how to entice individuals into business have spent hours on coming up with their 2-minute conversation to make sure that so what do? You go out to a get together. Well, what I do is somebody asks you, well, what I do is you haven't given any thought. You got to understand before you submit a business plan to a bank, before they give you any money, the first thing they're going to ask you for is your mission statement. And that mission statement is not 5 and 6 pages. It's literally a paragraph, 1 page. Doc will tell you, Doc Al Thomas will tell you. And that's what I'm looking for you guys. We're going to jump back into this next week. And I know I have 2 more men. I'm going to let you 2 men be the first ones, Bob and David. Remind me about that, Bree. You 2 are the first ones next week, because I'm at my cupping. I want you guys to get this. Where I am, where I've been, where I'm going. Stories sell, facts tell. All you guys gave me facts. I got no story. You had over an hour. Each one of you had 2 minutes. Not one of you used more than 30 seconds to give me facts. That's all I got. I got 7 people with facts. Nothing that was enticing, nothing that was enrolling, nothing that said, I need to be rolling with you. You got 2 minutes to give me a reason to say, you know what, whoever the hell you are, whatever you're doing, I need to know more about. I'm in a rush, but I need your number right now. I need to know what you're doing. What I'm doing is I'm in a program that has funded Saving Kids. What I'm doing is, where I came from, I was an orphan. And being an orphan, I am a father, a single father. I am a single mother. And the pain I went through in coming to a single family, you got to give me something that pierces my heart. And listen, Linda, I hope y'all taking notes. You got to give me something where the problem lives that created who you are, and then give me the solution. You have to give me the problem that you have lived through that pierces my heart. Even if I've never been an orphan, even if I never grew up in a single parent family home, the little girl comes to my door with the little red wagon and says, look, I'm not going to bed until I sell all these cookies. Got smudge on her nose by herself and got a raggedy mom sitting out at the curb. I gotta sell these to be able to get my books to get through school. Everybody else is, when I'm in a private school, everybody else, they have donors. I have to do this in order to just get my books. I'm going to get through college. I'm going to get through this private school. I'm going to prove who the hell I am. And by any means necessary, I'm gonna pay my own way. I'm buying all the cookies. I don't even like freaking cookies. That's your 2-minute conversation. That's when you don't have to worry about engaging in conversations with people. I can pull up the Gita. I can pull up the Quran. I can pull up the Torah. I can pull up the Bible. You know what they're filled with? Stories. Stories on top of stories on top of stories on top of stories saying, if you do this, then this is what will happen for you. You better master your story. That is my story, and I'm sticking with it. Right on the hour, and I am complete for the day. Take that.